take a picture in front of it.
Attention Expedition Everest team members. Once on board, secure all gear in the cargo bag in front of you. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the plane. And please supervise journey. Miembros del equipo de expedición Everest, en la bolsa delante de la silla. Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados con las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Por favor, cuiden a los niños.
And I turned off the light up front. Oh, the back light's over.
There's something I saw, I can't remember what it was. It was like on Facebook, somebody said something about, it's like, something about how two females have a kid or something, not to do with like humans, but something else. What? And I just really, like, I was looking through the comments and nobody wrote down life finds a way. And I was like, I really want, I was like, I don't know this person though, but I really want to write it. Isn't that the quote from Jurassic Park?
What? Yeah. It's not one of the. Yeah, when they find the eggs, he's like, life finds a way.
Come on, dinosaurs are hungry. Normally,
Wait, Dad, there's turtles up there. Oh, yeah, now
check out the big booth mark.
Elmo?
You like Elmo?
Feet and legs inside, and remember to watch your children.
Cookies. What if they fix that bridge? Yeah. Doesn't sink anymore.
No, they stopped that a long time ago.
Cookies all the time.
They don't have the whole fortune thing.
And they finally found that little elephant. Don't see anymore either,
Big red one, little red.
yeah, that's taken care of.
They drive past them, I think, still.
You drive past the truck, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
Flash down on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Symbol 1.
That the unpaved roads of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve pass through rough and rugged terrain.
They only did it for like 2 years and then stopped doing it.
To ensure a safe
The bridge broke and they only did it for a couple years.
Maybe that's
Shiny
it.
things.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safari. Noted on your way time to Spittle, we ask that you please keep your
Say hi, Uncle Russell. Hi.
See, that's my sunglasses.
Hi.
I see your eyes.
Your feet are just moving, but you're not touching the ground, bro. Teach her how to kick people. Yeah.
He had it coming. He had it coming.
You should have brought your sword.
Oh yeah.
Taking care of it for all.
Then you would have been a protector of the realm.
Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. They live on the road.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safari. Before you begin your trip, you should know that the unpaved roads of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve pass through rough and rugged terrain. Experience long safari
What do you think? You ready? Excited? Are you excited? Are you excited?
Asante-san awarded. Let's go! Jumbo, everyone. My name is Abby, and I'm going to be your safari driver through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve
Look
today.
at that.
If you look above your heads in front of you, you will see an animal spotting guide. Now, I can't promise we're going to see all those animals today, but I can promise we're going to do our best to see as many as possible. If you're going to be using cameras or cell phones, please make sure you hold on to them tightly, because if anything falls out of this truck, we are not going to be able to stop it and retrieve it.
If you fall out.
Now, this first part of the reserve that we're entering is called the Little Akiri Forest. And this forest is home to many different species of animals. Lots of them use camouflage as their main form of defense. On your right-hand side, just behind that bush back there, I think we're going to get a better view when we come around the corner, is an okapi. Now, okapi do kind of look similar to a zebra because of their stripes on their legs, but they are not related to zebras at all. In fact, their closest living relative is the giraffe. There we go.
It's like a zebra camel, I think.
Yeah.
At the top of the ridge on your right-hand side is a greater kudu. Now, greater kudu, the males, can grow horns that are up to 6 feet long. So we know that that one's a female. On your left-hand side, against this wall on the ridge over there, is a black rhino. Now, black rhinos have V-shaped upper lips that are prehensile, meaning they can use it to pick up food and put it in their mouths.
See, I wish I could do
They're
that.
also an endangered species. They are being poached out in the wild for their horns, which poachers believe contain medicinal properties. They contain no medicinal properties whatsoever, though, because they're looking for keratin, and we have that in our fingernails and hair. Now, these guys on the right-hand side are bongos. hippos are sometimes called the ghosts of the forest because they're able to move through it almost silently. And if you see their horns tilted back like that, that helps them move through the underbrush.
These horns aren't crossed.
Yeah. Those are pretty horns.
This next part of the reserve we're entering is called the Safi River. Now, the Safi River is a watering hole that is home to many different species of animals, lots of whom will gather both in the water and on the land.
I see some hippos.
On your right-hand side, just by these fallen logs, looks like there's a couple of hippopotamuses. Hippos can weigh up to 5,500 pounds, and despite being so big, only eat about 80 or 90 pounds of vegetation per day. And on your left-hand side, there are some more hippos. A group of hippos like that is called a bloat. And they are herbivores, meaning they only eat grasses, vegetables, fruits, but they are one of the more aggressive animals. They will fight and defend their territory. Now, these big grayish-white birds on the island are pink-backed pelicans. They get their name from a spot of skin on their back that during mating season can blush pink. On your left-hand side are some Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles can grow to be up to 20 feet long. And if you see one with its mouth open, he's not smiling at you. He's probably just overheated. Crocodiles do not smell like you or I do, so they can release excess body heat out through their mouths. Right-hand side is a baobab tree. Now, baobab trees are sometimes called upside-down trees because it looks like they're growing upside down. They're able to stand long periods of drought by storing water in their trunks. And they only produce leaves about 3 months out of the year, remaining leafless for the other 9. Elephants do know the secret of the baobab tree, though, so lots of times you'll see elephants near baobab trees because the elephants have figured out that there's water inside. This next part of the reserve that we're entering is the savannah, which is home to some of Africa's most famous animals. The savannah is very much shaped by the animals who live here. The giraffes eat the leaves off the tops of trees. The elephants will knock down or mow over trees to get to those tops. And the antelope will eat the grasses. On your right-hand side are a couple of giraffes. The giraffes are some of the tallest animals in the world, reaching heights of about 20 feet tall.
Could you imagine if you were 20 feet tall?
Despite having necks that big and so long, giraffes and humans actually have the same amount of bones in their necks, which is 7. On your left-hand side, in the mouth of this cave over here, is a pack of African wild dogs.
It's like Zoe's.
They are a pack hunting animal, and they are the most successful predators on the planet, with about 96% of their hunts ending in success.
Ooh.
On your far left side, past that fallen tree, are some sable antelope. Now, sable antelope are one of the only antelope that, if threatened, will stand and defend themselves instead of running away. Sable antelope are also the symbol for the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, our reserve here. So if you see anything with that name on it, you'll see a sable antelope kind of with his head bent down, horns pointed forwards.
Yeah, they know that I'm a kindred spirit. I'm at the here. Aren't those pretty? I know, they can sense it.
On your right-hand side, those big guys with the horns are Ankoli cattle. They are the only domesticated animals on the reserve. And although those horns, wow, that was hard to say, although those horns are really big, they're not that heavy. They're honeycombed on the inside to help them stay as light as possible.
Yeah.
At the top of the ridge, way in the back there, those big grayish animals are white bearded wildebeests. They're herding animals, and during migratory times can form giant herds up to 1.5 million in number. And also on your right hand side, just past this tree, those little antelopes right there are springbok. They stand about 3 feet tall to the shoulder, and they can jump about 6 feet in the air from a standing position and about 13 feet in front of them.
They're on a special safari. They get to do cool stuff. No. Yes.
On your right-hand side are some African elephants. African elephants can weigh up to about 1,200 pounds. And they eat around 300 pounds of food per day. Now, eating all that food every day was getting them into some trouble with farmers over in Africa, because the elephants were going onto their land and eating all of their crops. Researchers with the Disney Conservation Fund thought of a better way to resolve the solution. And they discovered that elephants were very, very scared of bees. So they went to the farmer's land and put beehives along their fences. And now elephants stay very far away. And the farmers have another source of income from selling the honey that the bees produce.
Do you like honey? Mmm. The Pooh Bear. Exactly.
I see some dust marks in the clay on the right-hand side. I wonder if that means another elephant's been by this way recently. No, I think we're right, all the way on the left side. They're probably just playing. We'll get a better view of them coming around the corner up here. But elephants will often eat clay like that to help supplement their diet. That clay is packed full of minerals, such as coltan. Miners are taking over a lot of elephant habitat looking for minerals like coltan, because it's found in everyday devices such as smartphones and tablets. So one way we ourselves can help elephants in the wild and help preserve their natural habitat is to recycle any old cell phones, smartphones, other smart devices like that. Elephants will sometimes pick up dirt and then sling it on their backs as kind of a form of sunscreen. And every time they flap their ears, it cools them down about 15 degrees.
Like what your ears feel, huh? Yeah.
Another giraffe on the left-hand side. Oh, and another one on our right.
Oh, another one over here. Maybe not the best side of the giraffe, but still. He's like, ooh.
Ooh.
On your left-hand side are some greater flamingos. Now, greater flamingos do not start off that pinkish color. When they're born, they're kind of like a grayish white. As they grow, they eat briny shrimp that contains the mineral carotene. It's that carotene that turns them their pink color. So the more carotene they consume, the pinker they become. Left side, there's a mud pit. Now, sometimes rhinos and elephants will use mud pits like that to cool off. So if they get too hot, they see a mud pit and they're like, oh yes, that's what I want to do right now. And they'll roll around in it and get all muddy. And that has two purposes. It will cool them off, and the mud will kind of act like a sunscreen, helping keep their skin out of the sun's rays.
Get that youthful glow.
On your left-hand side, up and moving about at the top of that ridge, is a cheetah, and on your right-hand side are some white rhinos. See the cheetahs right behind that first tree? Now cheetahs, there he is. Cheetahs are one of the only large cats to hunt during the day, and they are the fastest land animal,
Sleepy.
reaching speeds of about 60 miles per hour in just under 3 seconds. And there's a couple more cheetahs laying down in the back there, kind of almost camouflaged into the leaves. This large group of rocks up ahead is called a copy. Sometimes large cats will use copies as kind of a perching point. It's kind of a perching point to get high above the savannah and keep an eye out for prey. It looks like we got lucky with a large cat up there today. Right at the tip, it looks like there's a male lion just behind this bush. We should get a pretty good view of him coming around the corner now. Lions form family groups called prides. And this the female lions and the prides that do most of the hunting. And the males will usually stay back with the cubs and keep an eye on the rest of the pride. They are nocturnal animals. They are most active at night, and they're at rest about 20 hours of the day. On your right-hand side are some more white rhinos. Now, they don't get their name from their color. They get it from the Afrikaans word "weit," meaning wide. So, if you can see their lips, they're really wide and flat at the bottom. By this tree, I see two types of animals. The one right behind the fallen log without any horns is a waterbuck, and this one closest to us is a bontebok. Now, there's a little bit of an interesting story surrounding bontebok. In the sun, they have purple coats that kind of are shimmery. It's only when the sun hits them. But they were almost hunted to extinction because of it. They were accidentally saved from extinction when a farmer put a fence around his land, keeping in about 20. And since then, bontebok numbers have risen so much that they are no longer on the endangered species list, and they're back in the wild. Right up ahead of us, about to be on our left-hand side, is a scimitar horned oryx. Now, these are really cool animals. They will not, they can go for up to 9 months without drinking water. And they will not sweat until it's 115 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Alright, my friends, it looks like we're approaching the end of our safari. I great time and saw some amazing animals. I know I did. It has been a pleasure being your guide through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve today. And if you want to learn any more about conservation or conservation efforts being taken to help these amazing animals in the wild, please feel free to talk to any villager over in Harambe in Africa, and they'll be happy to give you some more information about the Disney Conservation Fund.
Pretty, isn't it?
And if you just choose to donate, thank you. Disney will match your donation dollar for dollar. And if you choose not to donate, no worries, Hakuna Matata. There are always other ways we can help with conservation.
Have you gotten to watch Lion King yet? Yeah. Oh, awesome. Did you like Timon and Pumbaa? They're pretty cool. You know they eat dogs.
And as we prepare to part ways today, I don't want to leave you with goodbye. It's too sad, too forever. I don't like goodbyes. I'll leave you with Swahili for go well, which is Kwaherini. So I want you to go well and go wild and have a great time out there today. Kwaherini, everyone.
Dancing baby. Yeah, we're moving him.
It's Kevin.
What's his name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
It's a girl.
That might be Jerry.
Sus pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y por favor, cuide a los niños.
Oh, she's tense. Oy. She's out here too. Unless you want to go in the gift shop.
I'm gonna rate one at 7.
Which the gift shop's behind us.
That's Fiona. I mean, that's
There's not too much to the gift shop. But you can walk underneath the mountain and look at the waterfall. Oh, there's silver. This is the ride we're doing. The Flight of Passage. The
Kind of sounds like the other ones might not do the other one.
the other ride is like straight ahead. And you can see like the that archway looking thing.
Yeah.
That's where the other one's at.
Who the books is it?
What you can't see, guys, the glacier up there is melting at intense rates.
global warming's problem.
Picture.
Hey, Russell, you want to let them take a picture?
Oh well.
Hi guys, welcome to
I can't go on the castle ride anymore. Yeah. Patrick, tomorrow it will just be you four on the Harry Potter castle ride. I can't, no. I almost lost it last time.
Yeah, I didn't know the last one. Is it all screen or is it kind of like you're going through real?
It's all screen.
Still going. I'm almost there though. That was another VIP tour, right? It's another VIP tour. Is that a plaid in front of us?
I would kind of like to go through the actual queue at some point, but like not when it's
Not when it's
2.5 hours.
3 hour wait.
Yeah. But just to see what it's like.
Or I just want to see that one room with the Avatar.
Yeah.
space now.
Blood all the lights do.
Yeah.
Good evening. On behalf of Walt Disney World, the place where dreams come true, we welcome all of you to Epcot and World Showcase. We're gathered here tonight around the fire as people of all lands have gathered for thousands and thousands of years before us to share the light and to share a story. An amazing story, as old as time itself, but still being written. And though each of us has our own individual stories to tell, a true adventure emerges when we bring them all together as one. We hope you enjoy our story tonight, Reflections of Earth. family thanks you for having been with us for Illuminations, Reflections of Earth.